Crap. Crap. Son of a bitch.
Are you gonna do anything about the donk-headed man?
I already told you. I told him I was a Elder Scrolls lore streamer. He won't be bothering us anytime soon.
You really told him your name was Nihilistic Nor, didn't you? He's going to find out eventually.
No, he won't. He's a furry.
He's a dog man, and what about your date with Lixirium?
I canceled it.
Are you insane? Why?
Well, because some assholes on Twitter keep saying that The Last of Us 2 is the greatest story told in gaming. It's only okay, I guess.
And you canceled your date for that?
I'm playing through Vengeful Guardian Moonrider to prove them wrong. It's a game that's based on the classics.
That makes no sense.
Is a man born of evil, doomed to forever tread the path of evil? AKA, nature versus nurture. This is the question Vengeful Guardian Moonrider asks its players. Of course, if you're a plebeian smooth brain like Craig Mazin, you might just see the game as, what if Mega Man was edgy? Which, to be frank, gameplay and art-wise, the game plays like an intermingling of both. Vengeful Guardian Moonrider was made by the folks over at Joy Masher, who are also behind the criminally underrated Blazing Chrome, as well as a couple other titles I'm unfamiliar with. That said, all of them rate as very positive on the reviews, so at the very least, the devs are consistent with their quality. In Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, the player takes the path of Moonrider, who happens to be vengeful as well as a guardian. What is a guardian, you ask? A guardian is a cybernetically enhanced superhuman, which might sound cool, but also all of these cyborgs have been robbed of their free will. Or they're just fanatics, which is actually a little bit more realistic and a lot more terrifying.
Social commentary.
Well, for some reason or another, Moonrider has defected after he developed a conscience. Getting sick of slaughtering the innocents, he decides to slaughter the oppressors instead. So he breaks out of his reprogramming cell and kills the guards. The first stage sees Moonrider escaping his confinement and mutilating the guards as well as technicians operating on him. Then he goes on an epic killing spree, utterly obliterating various foes along the way, until he comes to a laser room.
I swear to God, if you don't stop, I swear to God, I will hunt you down and beat your fucking ass.
Some scientist closes the blast door, effectively cock-blocking any forward progression, whilst trapping him in the room with said death laser. So, Moonrider must destroy the door. He can do this one of two ways. 1. Slap the laser until it blows up the door itself. 2. If the player has more than 2 neurons firing, they can manipulate the laser's targeting system to effectively make the laser do all the work. Next, Moonrider will navigate through more grody lab environments, bitch slapping all sorts of opponents along the way. This is also the first area that a keen-eyed player could potentially find a hidden chip. These microchips offer passive buffs or abilities Moonrider can utilize to be a more effective killing machine. Some of these are also just plain easy mode, like passive HP gain and the armor chip. My personal favorite is the Longsword and Bloodlust chip. The Longsword chip simply extends your attack range, and the Bloodlust chip gives you health upon killing enemies. Eventually you'll find yourself going against some ugly biomechanical robo-bitch. This is the first boss, and she's not all that difficult. However, if you don't pay attention to her attack patterns, you're gonna get your robo butt handed to you on a chrome platter.
I hope you like these robot puns.
After completing this level, we are taken to the map screen. This is where the player gets to choose what level they play next. This will be the general gameplay loop of Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. Each level has 2 parts, the first ending with a mini-boss and the second ending with a stage boss. The key difference between this level and the upcoming level is that the players will be facing off against other Guardians. Upon defeating them, players will unlock their powers.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I'm gaming here!
Hey babe, ready for a date?
Crap. I forgot to cancel. I know. I'll tell them I'm in the zone. That way, they have to be okay with me bailing on the date.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm in the zone.
What zone?
It's the zone. What else would it be?
What does that mean?
I'm glad you understand.
While the game is pretty difficult at first, after playing it enough, anyone with more than an IQ of 27 should be able to overcome most obstacles. In fact, I would say it's a snowball effect. After struggling for the first hour or so, I started actually doing pretty well. I guess one could argue that it's because I used the regen chip, but I wound up switching over to the bloodlust chip because I thought the regen chip made the game way too easy, but I digress. While there are no true difficulty options, one could come to the conclusion that the chips I discussed earlier are somewhat of an adjustment. So all these options make the game easier, right? Well, there is Glass Cannon, which makes a player die in one hit. That's about it. So there is a little bit of a lack of replay value happening here. I beat the game in just under 5 hours, and the only thing I really have left to do is achievement hunting, which honestly isn't something I really see myself doing.
We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little... You are fake news.
I'd like to circle back around to the beginning of this review, where I mentioned what Vengeful Moonrider is all about. It is true that this game does not have ultra 4K 120 FPS cutscenes that modern games have, but I feel like not all games really need that to tell their story. Furthermore, I'd say in many cases a 30-minute cutscene detracts from the game. The little snippets of storytelling we get in Moonrider show us a man torn between ideals, struggling between what is right and what is wrong. It's not super in-depth, but the reason I brought this up is because games have been telling stories like this for decades, and it's not a bad way of telling a story, especially in an interactive medium. In conclusion, I only made this review because I want to say video games are not just killing pixels. Also, The Last of Us is not the greatest story told in gaming, it's only pretty good, and Craig Mazin is a fucking moron. Review over. And that is a wrap. Oh crap, I still got time to go to Sandwich Palace with Licks. Oh well, back to gaming.
They're gonna leave you, you know that, right?
Oh yeah, I don't blame them.